Hello, I'm Chaplain Mendy Stern. This week's Torah portion discusses the timeline after the death of Nadav and Avihu in the tabernacle. When God warned against unauthorized entry into the Holy of Holies, only one person, the high priest, may enter, and only once a year, on Yom Kippur, on the Day of Atonement. And at that point, the high priest could enter the innermost chamber to bring up Ketoret, the sacred incense, to God. The parsha of Achrei Mot also warns against bringing sacrifices, animal or meal offerings, anywhere except in the holy temple, forbidding the consumption of blood, and details the laws of prohibiting incest and other deviant relations. The Torah portion of Kedoshim begins with the statement, "You shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, am holy." This is followed by dozens of commandments through which the Jew sanctifies themselves and relates to the holiness of God. These include the prohibition against idolatry, the commandment and the good deed of charity, the principle of equality before the law, Shabbat, sexual morality, honesty in business, honor and awe of one's parents, and the sacredness of life. Also, in the portion of Kedoshim, there is a statement that Rabbi Akiva called a cardinal principle of the Torah, and of which Hillel said, "This is the entire Torah, the rest is commentary." The statement is, "Love your fellow as yourself." And I'd like to refer to a couple of stories that will bring out the significance of this Torah portion. First and foremost, I would like to highlight the love your fellow as yourself. In this time of uncertainty in the world, when we are all facing self-isolation, but yet we're together and united virtually. How does that apply? And what is the story that is referred to that Hillel mentioned? This is the entire Torah, the rest is commentary. So let us start with a story. In the time of the Mishnah, when there were two main houses of study, the house of Shammai and the house of Hillel. And one day, a non-Jew entered the house of Hillel and had asked him to teach him the whole Torah while he's standing on one foot. Obviously, this gentleman was looking to pull someone's leg. I mean, he was not being serious. He was just trying to see, give it to me in a nutshell. But Hillel was very wise. And Hillel told him, "Love your fellow as yourself. Do unto others what you want done to yourself. Do not do unto others what you do not want done to you." And the rest is commentary. Powerful line. Upon hearing that, this gentleman decided to discover more, and we learn later on he actually converted to Judaism and had studied more. But the focus of here, why is that? Why is love your fellow as yourself so significant? In today's day and age, when we are all away from the flagpole, so to say, spiritually we cannot congregate and worship together. We are finding ourselves separate in our own homes. We're still praying 3 times a day. We're still studying the Torah, but we're not together. It's easy to forget, to get lost in time. You know, the thoughts that people have, maybe one would skip a prayer. Nobody sees them anyway. I mean, it's easy enough. However, we must remember that the Torah as a whole is more than just the commandments of how we should behave ourselves, more than just our relationship with God. The highlight of it is, like Hillel said, love your fellow as yourself, ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Not simply in saying it in the morning before prayers, not simply in passing, but rather in action. When we find ourselves in a time or in a place where we feel isolated, ask yourself, who can I reach out to? Who needs a word of encouragement? Is there someone that needs help with picking up their groceries? Or is there someone that needs possibly a hand with just to get online, to do their job? Is there someone that just needs a listening ear? Think of someone other than yourself. Because if you do, then you will have fulfilled the commandment of the foundational commandment of the Torah, the cardinal principle, as Rabbi Akiva said, to love someone else as yourself. What's more than that is that while it may seem like an easy task to do, in practice, it takes a conscious decision, a conscious action to go out and do exactly that. To go out and love someone else as yourself. To care about that someone else. To go out and actually love them. Not just in passing, not just in, okay, I'm going to do something for that someone, but actually truly love them. And it connects to today very much, because even though you might find yourself in your own barracks room or in your own home or in your own place with you, either by yourself or just the people around you, there are opportunities to love someone else as yourself. There are other opportunities to actually go and do something good for somebody else. And even if it is just simply to stay home and to observe the social distancing and face coverings, etc., washing your hands. Because by doing so, you're actually caring for others. By doing so, you're actually helping out someone else, avoiding from them getting sick. So I encourage you, as we read these Torah portions, the Torah portion that is discussing at the beginning the death of Nadav and Avihu. Why is it so important? Is because although they attempted to do something good, they were not commanded to do so. And remember this, that even if you have, with all the good intentions, you have a good intention to go do something good, but you're told to remain home, or more so, you were told not to do that, or you were told to stand fast, it is an obligation on you to wait and do and stand fast and not do this deed, as good as it may seem. Because as we could see that these two saintly people, they were tzaddikim. Nadav and Avihu wanted to fulfill God's word. They rushed to fulfill a commandment. And yet they were killed in the process of conducting that commandment. And this is why we need to take the time and do what is right. Love your fellow as yourself, and do what you need to do in the right time, right place, right way. And hopefully together we will be able to rise up from this. To Achemot, the next parsha is Kedoshim, to become holy. And we're going to be holy because it says, you shall be holy, for I, the Lord your God, is holy. Because God is holy, and therefore we ourselves, we're becoming holy. So I encourage you, join me, Join the millions of other Jews at home in saying a prayer, worshiping, studying. While we may be isolated, we're isolated together. In other words, we are looking out for one another. We are caring about one another. We are checking on one another, and we're making sure that we are together even though we're in isolation. Shabbat Shalom.